In the year 2035, advancements in technology led to the creation of a virtual world called Connect. This virtual world was as realistic as the real world, with perfectly natural artificial intelligence non-player characters. It offered fancy swordsmanship and magic that could only be experienced in the game. These unique features attracted over 100 million people into the world of Connect. The scene shifted to a temple where Bae DoHyun, also known as Crash in the game, was engaged in a fierce battle against a large group of opponents. Let's aim for 200 likes on today's video. To show your support, consider subscribing to the channel. Bae DoHyun skillfully killed them one by one, instilling fear in all who witnessed his abilities. A knight stepped forward and shouted to his fellow knights, questioning their inaction and urging them to charge at Bae DoHyun. The knights, driven by their loyalty to the empire, started moving towards Bae DoHyun to attack him, shouting, "Death to the empire's enemy." At that moment, a window popped up displaying information about Bae DoHyun, revealing his ranking as 13th in Connect and his class as a psychokinetic. Bae DoHyun utilized his psychokinetic skill to manipulate the nearby swords and eliminate the approaching enemies. The knight then ordered the archers to fire arrows at Bae DoHyun. However, he swiftly used his psychokinetic ability once again to stop the arrows midair and redirect them towards the knight. The arrows hit many knights, causing some to die and others to sustain serious injuries. Bae DoHyun then proceeded to swiftly dispatch the injured knights using his dagger. The remaining knights, filled with anger, expressed their frustration with Bae DoHyun's overpowering skill in psychokinesis. However, their anger soon turned into confusion as they witnessed a large number of swords floating in the air. Bae DoHyun, once again utilizing his psychokinetic ability, controlled the swords and directed them towards the remaining knights, killing them all. After the bloody battle came to an end, Bae DoHyun moved forward towards the temple, muttering to himself, "Shit, where is it?" Suddenly, he noticed a cough coming from a nearby high priest. The high priest remarked, "In the end, this is it." Bae DoHyun looked at the high priest's locket and exclaimed, "That's it, his search is over." Meanwhile, the priest informed Bae DoHyun that God had foretold the arrival of saviors to this world. Bae DoHyun advanced, attempting to seize the locket from the priest's chest. However, the priest grabbed the hand of Bae DoHyun, exclaiming, "Why are there only fighters here, outsider? Why did you bring chaos to this world? Why did you burn the cities, kill the innocents, and enslave the people here?" Bae DoHyun forcefully freed his hand, snatching the locket, and retorted, "Old man, don't blame me. Blame the guild that colluded with the empire." In that moment, Bae DoHyun noticed new members arriving at the scene and muttered, "Shit, the guild's latecomers are here." He swiftly moved inside the building. Meanwhile, the priest warned, "Don't forget, everything will be as God has intended," and declared angrily, "All of you will pay for what you've done." Bae DoHyun then used the locket that he had snatched from the priest to open a hidden underground room. As he descended the stairs, he pondered to himself, according to the intel, these should be the very first mythical items in Connect. 5 years ago, major guilds colluded with the empire and destroyed the world. Everything he did for the last 6 months was for this. An NPC lamenting is nothing. The major guilds took control of Connect, and he is the only solo player left in the top 100. Let's take them before they get here. If they find out he obtained these items first, the guilds will be very upset. Excellent. Let's leave this place. He discovered a game cartridge and wondered why it was there. Abruptly, he experienced a sharp pain in his head. Bae DoHyun exclaimed, "Connection error. How did this happen?" Upon opening his eyes, he realized he had been stabbed. An internal lament echoed, "Damn it. Things were going too smoothly in Connect." Confronted by a group of individuals in black suits, one of them questioned his agitated movements, urging him to meet his end peacefully. Internally, Bae DoHyun condemned them, thinking, "I didn't expect them to escalate things to this extent in the real world. These people are despicable." Contacting their boss, one of them relayed, We have him. Do you want us to bring him alive? The boss, issuing instructions over the phone. In response, he said, "Yes, understood." Another inquired about the command, receiving the response, "Kill him. The boss only wants us to bring his head." Captured by a ruthless group willing to kill over a game, Bae DoHyun pleaded for mercy, but the captors were unforgiving. Ordered to cover his face, he internally resisted, thinking, "No way. Killing people over a game. These people are insane. Is this how I'm going to die?" Suddenly, a voice urged him to wake up. Opening his eyes, he was astonished to find himself alive, pondering, "What just happened? I thought I died after being stabbed." The attending maid queried, "Are you okay, Sir Raul?" Confused, Bae DoHyun wondered, "Raul, is that her status level?" Concerned, the maid asked, "You've broken into a cold sweat. Should I call a doctor?" Bae DoHyun reflected, "What? I feel like I'm witnessing something I shouldn't be able to." A system window displayed information. The soul has settled in. Activating Connect's closed beta system. You can now use the user interface. Current number of users: 1. Bae DoHyun muttered, "User, are you kidding me? That means this is inside the world of Connect." Raul contemplated within himself, sensing a profound connection. It differed significantly from his link with Crash. The strength in the game was determined by the level of connection one had with Connect. While normal players usually achieved around 30% synchronization, Bae DoHyun boasted close to 90%. Bae DoHyun had maintained his top-ranking status for a decade, until the emergence of major guilds. Unfortunately, Raul no longer inhabited that body and felt a sense of misfortune, considering the considerable time invested in its leveling up. However, recognizing the closed beta status and the solitary user, he pondered if he was the sole individual currently utilizing this system in the world. Realizing he could still access his inventory even in the closed beta, the window displaying information scanned his user's details and detected locked user information, subsequently updating it. This information flowed into his mind. Determined to ascend to the pinnacle once more, Raul resolved to leverage the knowledge and powers from his past life. He identified himself as Raul Ashton, the youngest son of Ashton, the fifth count of the Reuben Kingdom. Ashton County, the first to fall in Connect, belonged to one of Reuben Kingdom's orthodox families. Amidst family tragedies and a monster invasion, Raul, the youngest son, inherited the county. Anticipating the impending ruin of the beautiful city in 3 years, Raul, driven by a desire to prevent this fate, acknowledged that he no longer possessed the lives of Bae DoHyun or Crash. This opportunity was his last chance, and having endured hardships in his previous life as Bae DoHyun, he couldn't afford to let it slip away. The only viable path to prevent the impending downfall was to grow stronger. A month later, the traditional coming-of-age ceremony of Ashton Count was approaching. Success in the semi-finals would secure Raul's entry into Kingdom Academy, where he aimed to grow stronger and safeguard his life. Confused about his fatigue after a few swings, a window revealed his information as level 5 Raul. Puzzled by his level compared to a mate to levels lower, he resolved to train for the upcoming tournament. On the tournament day, observing the numerous participants, Raul realized he would face formidable opponents. Reflecting on the past month's challenges, he noted his increased level to 13. Feeling well prepared and confident in his stamina and match plan, an attempted surprise attack interrupted his thoughts. Dodging the attack, Raul discovered the assailant to be Diane, his cousin and the second son of Uncle Viscount Ashton. Recalling Diane's past bullying during swordsmanship training, Raul regarded him as a scoundrel who preyed on the weaker. Diane warned Raul to withdraw from the tournament, threatening severe harm. Raul, determined to crush Diane in the finals, vowed to stand firm. In the evening, the butler relayed, "Sir, this is the report for the tournament today." Count Melvin Ashton, Raul's father, directed the butler, "Hand it over." "Was there anyone useful?" The butler responded, "About that, Raul qualifies." Inquisitive, Count Melvin inquired. "Where's Raul now?" The butler replied, "Sir, Raul went back to his room after finishing his meal. I think he used up all his strength during the qualifier, and went back to rest." Count Melvin nodded and said, "Okay, you may go." After the butler exited the room, Count Melvin burst into laughter, exclaiming, "He is my son, he really made it. He made it to the group stage." He continued, "I never forced him to learn how to wield a sword because he was weaker than his brothers. But then he started training a month before the tournament. At first, he fell down after 10 minutes, but he never gave up. I knew he was bullied during the training because of his weak body, but if I helped, he would be shamed for being unable to do anything without my help. I had to wait till he stood up for himself, but this is way past my expectations. When the finals are over, I should go see him." On the day of the group stage final, a person from the audience shouted, "What are you doing?" Another person added, "Make it fun. Stop dragging it out and end him." Edmund, lost in thought, muttered to himself, "Shit, this weakling. Why is he not falling?" Edmund resumed his sword attacks, but Raul adeptly blocked each strike. Frustrated, Edmund exclaimed, "Just go down," and launched a forceful swing, causing Raul to stagger backward slightly. The audience was taken aback by Raul's resilience, commenting to each other, "Look, he took his attack again. How many times does this make it? He's been holding out for quite a while now." They began shouting, "You got this, third son." This only fueled Edmund's anger. He taunted Raul, saying, "You rat, you can't run away forever. Are you not ashamed as a member of a count's family?" In response, Raul nonchalantly replied, "I can't really hear you." Someone from the audience shouted, "End him, Edmund. You've dragged it out long enough. I bet my salary on you." Unfazed, Raul standing still, while Edmund declared, "I'm done messing around. I'm ending this," and unleashed his mana sword. The audience was shocked by his decision. One exclaimed about the mana sword, while another warned, "You have to dodge that. If you get hit by that." Edmund moved towards Raul with his mana sword, but to his surprise, Raul decided to take the attack head-on this time. When their swords collided, an explosion occurred, leaving the audience tense. After the dust settled, the match referee, positioned between Edmund and Raul, announced, "The match is over. The winner is Raul." The audience erupted, shouting, "The third son won." "There's no way." Meanwhile, Edmund protested to the referee, saying, "I can't accept it. How's he the winner? If you hadn't stopped me." The referee sternly told Edmund, "How foolish. Look at your neck. If I hadn't stopped the match, you would be dead by now." Edmund, realizing the danger, fell to the ground in fear. Approaching Edmund, Raul stated, "I'll have to talk to you about your disrespect towards the county after the tournament," intensifying Edmund's fear. In the evening, Raul returned to his room, and the maid at the door said, "Rest well, sir." When Raul found himself alone, he burst into laughter and exclaimed, "Holy shit, I actually won." Opening the status window revealed the following information. Level up. Ashton's swordsmanship mastery has elevated to beginner level 9. Reflecting on his success, Raul thought, the plan worked. Using the game's feature where I get more experience and mastery by fighting against stronger opponents. Fighting against a stronger opponent for longer gave me more experience. This plan only worked because my game mode gives me an experience multiplier for taking away the revive. A hardcore mode. High risk, high return. I did complain at first. The status shows role information, including his name, level, class, affiliation title, and stats. Raul has 5 unique traits, but out of 5, 3 can't be seen due to his low level. Contemplating on his rate of leveling, Raul reflected, I wouldn't have been able to level up this much in a month if I was in normal mode. Best of all, I have 5 unique traits. Psychokinetic Meister is a trait that Bae DoHyun had, and Royal Lineage is a trait that Raul possesses. The rest of them will unlock as I level up. Let's try using this on the next tournament matches. Subsequently, Raul effortlessly won 3 more matches in a row, leaving the audience astounded. They exchanged comments, with some saying, "The youngest son actually made it to the grand finale. How could this be possible? He's just lucky." One person speculated, "Maybe he's using some kind of a trick." Another responded, "Impossible." Meanwhile, Raul thought to himself, "Connect civilians in the early stages don't know about the powers that the players have. It'd probably be better to keep it a secret that I can use psychokinesis until the players show up. I can surely hide it with my acting skills." The butler outside Raul's room announced, "Sir, it's Ivan." Raul welcomed, "Come in." The butler inquired, "Are you hurt anywhere?" Raul assured the butler, "I'm perfectly fine. Even if I get hurt, there's a priest and a healer on standby." The butler advised, "Still, don't let your guard down. Remember, there are wounds that can't be healed." Raul acknowledged, "Okay, I'll be careful." Internally, Raul thought, "He's really worried about me. I can't get used to it since I've never felt like this in my past life." Turning to the butler, Raul inquired, "What about the thing I asked for?" The butler responded, "I did as you asked." "Are you sure about that? Sir Diane is a strong opponent." Raul reassured, "Don't worry about it. I will win." The butler replied, "I trust you, sir. I'll leave now." While exiting the room, the butler reflected, his confidence matches the Count's when he was younger. But the final opponent is Sir Diane. He brutally wounds whoever he goes against. Simultaneously, Raul contemplated, "How much is this? Ashton County's betting system." The county created a legal betting system for the tournament's success, and the bets also go to the participants. This is enough to ensure my place in the family. The only thing left is to crush him, the referee announced, and now, the final match begins. People rallied behind Raul, shouting phrases like, "You got this, youngest. Be ready to get challenged by Diane. Win with your skill this time, Raul, Raul." In response, Diane addressed Raul, "Hey, weakling, I don't know how you made it this far, but I'll make sure that you consider it your worst decision to come up here. People cheering you will soon find out how worthless you are. It'll be a nice view when you start crawling with your limbs cut off." Raul, unfazed, yawned and provocatively asked Diane, "Are you done stretching your tongue?" This only fueled Diane's anger, and he retorted, "You arrogant expletive," while enveloping his entire body with mana. Observing the intense mana, the audience remarked, "His mana's overwhelming. Raul's no match for him." Meanwhile, Raul thought to himself, "He's acting all tough." Glancing at Diane's status window, the status window displays information: name, Diane, level, 42, class, expert knight sword user, affiliation, Austin Viscounty, title, Ashton Viscounty star, sword genius, stats, potential talent grade B, strength 52, agility 41, stamina 43, intelligence 18, willpower 14, mana 32, senses 21. Raul continued his thoughts. His potential talent is only B. He may look impressive now, but this is his limit. The referee announced, "Match begins." Diane, filled with anger, said to Raul, "I'll kill you, coward." He moved forward to attack, but was surprised by Raul, who leaped in the air to strike Diane. Attempting to block Raul's sword attack, Diane was pushed back. Someone from the audience shouted, "Sir Raul strikes first." Diane, frustrated, said to Raul, "You expletive showing off." Raul pondered, "His elasticity is below my expectations. His strength is also, whatever." Diane exclaimed, "Why can't I hit you?" While continuing his thoughts, Raul reflected, "I can see his sword clearly. A sword skill without any practical experience. A generic nobleman's sword." Raul was bullied by this guy. Diane angrily said to Raul, "You expletive, you tripped me. I will expletive kill you." Raul thought to himself, the only thing he knows is mana sword with all that mana flowing through his body. The audience was shocked by Raul's swordsmanship when he caused Diane to drop his sword. Raul remarked to Diane, boring, "You are really nothing after all." In anger, Diane moved towards his sword to pick it up but was tripped by Raul again. Raul said to Diane, anger issues and repeatedly falling for the same trick. Look at you. What a shame on Viscounty Austin's name, Diane angrily shouted. I'll kill you, and attempted to attack Raul barehanded, only to receive a punch to the face that caused him to fall to ground unconscious. The audience, witnessing this, couldn't believe their eyes. Raul turned to the referee and said, the opponent is down. Are you going to continue the match? The referee announced, the winner of the Ashton Coming of Age tournament, Raul Ashton. The audience cheered, saying, young master, I believed in you. Raul. Raul thought to himself, I'm happy I won. But this awful stamina. The referee said, young master, and called for the healer quickly. At that moment, a window popped up showing information about the Coming of Age tournament quest. Coming of Age tournament. Quest completed. Check the reward. Quest. Coming of Age tournament. Grade D+. Objective. Make it to the semi-final in the Coming of Age tournament. Extra rewards depend on the final place. Result. Tournament champion completed. Reward. Experience. 300 coins player shop. Random skill book grade E or lower. Extra reward. Extra experience. 5 grade D stat points. Random skill book grade D or lower. Raul thought to himself, nice. Quest completed. Now I can make it to Kingdom Academy. Butler Ivan expressed to Count Melvin, I am so proud of the young master. He grew that much in a month. Count Melvin contemplated. He played around with Diane. If he really got that far in a month, he's a genius. But in that moment, Raul noticed his father and waved his hand. Raul thought, he was watching. He probably knows that I'm good enough to go to the academy now. At night, when he went to his father's room, Count Melvin said, I can't allow it. Raul questioned, why? I thought I could go as long as I made it to the semi-finals. Count Melvin explained, that's situational. From what I see, Raul, you need to stay by my side longer. You fell after the match. Stay here a little more, and Raul interrupted, asserting, learning about the sword is a lifelong journey. Didn't you always say that? I'm trying to go to the academy to learn more. Just like you said, you can't stop me. Count Melvin, taken aback by his confidence, thought to himself, he has really grown. Count Melvin stood up and said, okay, fine. If you really want to go, you'll have to get past me. I won't go easy on you, son. He then asked Raul, what are you going to do now? This concludes the first part of the manhwa. The second part will be posted tomorrow, so remember to like and subscribe to the channel for future updates. See you tomorrow with a new episode.